Welcome to the Tech School Podcast brought to you by DSDT. I am Josh here with Karlos. How's it going, my good friend? Nice jersey, by the way.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Straight from our sponsors. Your boy got it on. I'm representing today, Josh.
All right, DSDT. How's it going, good friend?
I'm glad to be here. I'm looking forward to the lineup that we have. I think that as we proposed last time, we're going to have a lot of information, general information for the students that are interested that aren't necessarily military involved students.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of broad topics, connecting with everyone, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
And so, today we have Brandon, who is an instructor at DSDT, and we're going to have Antonio, who's a student, correct?
Correct. And I'm looking forward to this because, Brandon as an instructor comes with a wealth of experience. He's one of the, most successful independent producers, directors, cinematographers, you name it, he does it all. So I'm looking forward to that segment.
All right, good deal. We're also going to be talking about a few other topics as well. A lot of people know about the filming tragedy that happened in New Mexico involving actor Alec Baldwin, where a cinematographer was shot and killed on a filming set. We're going to touch on that a little bit more. Also, Squid Game. I tried watching it. I can't get into it, but everyone is into it. We're going to find out what is so extraordinary about Squid Game.
Yeah, and so I agree 100,000%. I tried to watch it as my significant other lay there for, I don't know, maybe the duration of 10 episodes and checked it out.
Oh my.
I could not get into it like that. It definitely was not my cup of tea, but let's talk about it with someone that actually knows the industry.
All right. And then another show we're going to talk about that I have been watching in depth is BMF, Black Mafia Family. Is based on a true story of Big Meech and Southwest T, how they grew up in the city of Detroit and created their cocaine empire, their drug empire that stretched across the country.
Absolutely. So I'm so interested in the topic from the standpoint that our independent film director has inside information as to the inner workings because he lived in Southwest Detroit where this particular piece was timed and it originates in. And so I'm kind of interested in what his take on it. I would like to make our viewers aware that at one point, the cast director actually wanted to come here to DSDT and shoot segments of the film. Keep in mind, we are in Southwest Detroit. Yes. We did purchase the old 3rd Precinct jail, right? And so that means that we have a timepiece within itself for those that are looking for, to be able to come into Detroit and to shoot on location. So I'm looking forward to that conversation as well.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's bring in Brandon.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
I can't complain. How's it going, Carlos? How's Josh?
Hey, how are you today, sir? I see that you're on location. Can you tell us where you're actually recording out of?
I'm at DSDT right now. I'm in my classroom.
All right. So kind of explain to us what your role is here at DSDT.
My role here at DSDT, I'm actually the digital media instructor. Digital media 1, 2, film, whatever you want to call it at this time. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I teach everything film.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So does that mean then that you are the go-to person for everything film, or is there something that you specialize in more that is your area of expertise?
I'm the go-to person when it comes to film, but like I've been in the industry for about 13 years, so it's like I'm pretty knowledgeable about a lot of different things. A lot of people don't know I actually have a degree in information technology. That's where it all started. It's where it all started for me, just understanding the basics and the inner and outings of the computer. And then next thing you know, I shifted over towards the more digital media film side of the process. I just always been in love and how to create something and how to say, oh, I did that on TV.
Brandon, so if a potential student is inquiring about DSDT and they want to go into filming, what kind of conversation do you have with them? Where do they begin to look at which programs to potentially enter?
Me personally, I like to really have the conversation with the student. I like to know where their heart lies. Like, what is it that you really want to do? Like, are you trying to accomplish to be able to say, hey, I want to create content for small businesses, or hey, I want to create a movie. So, or like, I guess we're bringing in Tino later. Tino was one of my students previously, and he came in as, I want to film, I want to edit music videos. He still likes his pictures. He likes to do video and everything else, but I found a niche in him, and he was a sound guy. Like, he likes sound, he likes music, he likes to do things like that. So I kind of said, hey, try this and see how that works for you. And today, right now, he's one of the most sought after sound guys in Detroit right now. So it's like, I just want to get a grasp of what you want to do so I can steer you into the right direction.
Can you tell us kind of some of your experience in the industry? Because, first of all, explain to the audience what an IMDb registration is. It's
my business card for film. So basically what your IMDb is it's your calling card. So it's like, hey, instead of me giving you, it's your digital print. So what I can do is say, hey, go check me out on IMDb. They can see right here, as we have pulled up on the screen, all the movies that I have done in my career. There's some that are still not listed, but you can go and see what I have done, and you can actually check a lot of these movies out on all the streaming platforms. And again, like I say, to answer the question, it's basically a digital business card for filmmakers.
So it's easy for folks
that you have 13. I'm sorry, Josh. You have 13 films to your credit. Is that right?
That's director credits.
Okay.
I have a total. If you scroll up, you see cinematographer. I have 17 credits. It breaks it down to, like, if I'm just a cinematographer, director photography on set, or if I'm just directing. So like, I have 13 director credits. I have 17 cinematographer credits, and I think I might have a total of 25 credits in all on there that as of now. Like I said, editor credits, producer credits. So it's like I said, it's broke down.
I see you only have one credit on here as an actor. What does that mean? You're not Spike Lee-ish?
No, I'm not Spike Lee. No, I'm not Spike Lee-ish. That's just I have a new movie. I actually wrote it and directed it, and I just wanted to try something new. Won't do it again, but it was something different.
Okay. Brandon, clarify a little bit more on what people need to do to register on IMDb if they are a director, producer, actor, etc.
What you do to register IMDb, all you got to do is just go to IMDb. It's free. You can put all your information in, and most of the time when people create the content, they create these pages, and then all you got to do is just attach yourself to the pages. So what? Also, they have a paid subscription, which is like $20 a month. You become an IMDb member, but it's a pro membership, so it allows you to put all your contact information in, and different things of that nature. So people can actually contact you if they're willing to hire you and things like that. So I get people reaching out to me all the time wanting me to produce their movies. Well, yeah, definitely check that out because, like I said, it's free to all the filmmakers or content creators that's out there. So definitely, it's IMDb. It's actually powered by Amazon.
It's actually a cool site to go on and get updates on upcoming movies too.
Yes, you can definitely do that. Sometimes you have those arguments, say, hey, this movie made a lot of money. If you're a pro member, you can go in there and see exactly how much they made box office day and to date. You can see what the revenue was. All
right, so we're talking about different shows. What are some of the better programs offered at DSDT if you want to get into filming? If people are watching right now and they're just curious, which programs should I consider if I'm looking at your institution?
It depends on your skill level. Like if you have some that's new, never done it before, I would say definitely, inquire about Digital Media 1, which is a class that I teach. So we teach the fundamentals of basically how to use the camera, how to do some basic editing, lighting setups, little small color correction. I actually touch on a little bit of Photoshop as well, just to get you more familiar of how to create the content. Like I say, depending on which way you want to go, if you want to be, like you say, a commercial person who wants to do stuff corporate, or if you wanted to just jump into the film. Like I say, I just try to, gear it towards what you're comfortable with at that time. So, and if you're a little bit more intermediate, you can actually reach out and look into Digital Media 2. So that's a little bit more advanced. That's something where we teach more advanced editing skills. I also touch on like advanced lighting skills and things like that. And then I also ask the student as well that if they're advanced, where do they leave off at? How can I pick it back up for you, and how can I make you better?
Absolutely. Gentlemen, let's start with the topics. Let's begin with the Rust tragedy in New Mexico involving actor Alec Baldwin, where cinematographer was shot and killed when a weapon discharged on the set. That is a picture of the lady who was tragically killed on that filming set in New Mexico. Brandon, how does something like this happen?
It's a lot of ways that can happen. And just, her name is Helena Hutchinson. She was a very good DP, by the way. Basically, they have people that are responsible for those situations, right? So they were told that the gun was a cold gun, meaning that there was no ammunition in the gun, but even though handing it off to someone like the handler, they're still supposed to check the firearm to make sure that it's not anything in there. They have a lot of different ways and different methods for that. And it was just poor. It was just poor.
It's also been reported the assistant director who was fired involving this tragedy had been let go from a job due to similar circumstances.
I didn't see that part, but it wasn't him who handed the weapon to the actor. I heard it was a handler that handed it. No, you're wrong. The handler handed it to the assistant director, and the assistant director handed it to the actor. Well, which, even though every time a firearms change hands, you're supposed to check that firearm.
Okay. Each time, like I give it to you, Brandon, you give it to Carlos. Each time it changes hands.
Hold on. You don't give it to me.
Okay.
Let's keep that. Look,
okay, but
don't give it to me.
Okay. Oh, Carlos, we're going to omit you from this conversation for a brief moment. So, Brandon, let's say someone gives me the firearm.
Right.
It's my responsibility to check it thoroughly. And then when I give it to you, it's your responsibility to check it thoroughly as well before it's given to X, Y, and Z.
Yes, because like what I say, when we deal with firearms, I have someone solely in charge of that. But even though, like, if he was to hand it, I will always, as the director, this is something that I do extra. Like, he will hand it to me, I will check it. I would walk in front of the talent, show it to them, show it clear, make sure everything's clear. You poke a little stick in there, make sure there's nothing stuck in there live. Even though we don't deal with live rounds And I'm still trying to kind of confused to why they were dealing with live rounds as well. But I'm not sure why. But at the same time, I think every time that firearm changes hands, it should be checked. I even feel like the actor should check it.
Brandon, you just you read my mind. And enlighten me, please. Why are real firearms even being used?
Well, there's some firearms that they do not replicate or make blank firearms out of. So what they do, they actually get the real gun or whatever it is. They have the real the style, and they use those. And what they do, they put blank shells in those. And that's the only thing I can think of why they would even use a real firearm, because they couldn't get a replica model made of that firearm.
Well, it's
a pretty rough tragedy, you know.
Yeah.
I actually was reading some information about it, and I read somewhere, I think it was the Los Angeles Times, that they were talking about how in California now they are trying to get legislation passed to where there is no live ammo on sets. Come on now, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not the most practical man, right? But in 2021, you mean to tell me that people carry live firearms onto film sets?
Well, it's not that they carry them. See, what I was told and what I've learned is that they use the live rounds for sound purposes. And probably for some other type of recreation firearms, like wall hits and things like that, so they don't have to digitally compose those things. So they do have live rounds on set for those purposes. But like again, it's supposed to be a bunch of security measures in place for them to actually use those weapons.
Okay, I got a quick question, Josh. I got a quick question. Let me ask it. So, Brandon, my favorite cinematographer, my favorite director, we have the up and coming rap video that you are about to shoot, right?
Okay.
And we have real $100,000 cash sitting over here, and we have real AK-47 sitting over here. Are you telling me that happens?
I've done it.
Wow.
I mean, it's like I say, being a cinematographer in this day and age, and especially shooting music videos, you don't know what you're going to get yourself into. Like I always tell people when I used to shoot music videos, I've been in the nicest of the nicest, and I've been in the dirtiest of the dirtiest. You know what I mean? Like I've been in, I can't even explain the places that I've been, just shooting a music video, and how many firearms that you see pop up in front of you. You be like, wow, where you guys getting all these guns from? So it's just a chance that we take too as a cinematographer. Not saying that you're supposed to be in that position, but I mean, when you're chasing your dream and you coming from the bottom, it's like you got to put yourself in that situation sometimes.
Okay, so here's a great topic of discussion for the day, Josh. And I definitely wanted Brandon to chime in on this. Have you guys had an opportunity, and I know that, you guys are as busy as I, but have you had an opportunity to catch any of Netflix's Squid Game?
I tried watching one episode, the first episode of Squid Game. I could not finish it. I was saying, what in the heck is this? What is it?
I tried it myself, and I really couldn't get off into it. I've seen some articles on it, and they were saying from the translation, they said we're actually missing more than what we're actually getting, because they're only translating as much as they can, as fast as they can. Okay. They said there's so much information inside the film, inside the show, that we're not getting. Wow. And what was the big rave about it? I guess it's the killing.
People are dying.
That's
People
it.
just dying left and right.
I mean, it's interesting, but it's just not for me. It's like, it makes me feel like anime.
No,
it was gruesome too.
I mean, it was old fashioned Kill Bill,
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino, huh?
Yeah. But at least you had good acting in that.
Yeah, the acting was decent. The acting was pretty good for what I've seen.
Squid Game, the lip sync was even off.
Well, it's got to be. We're talking in another language.
Like how, okay, in the world of filming, how do you how do you screw up something like that? Like, I mean, you got to get at least the lip sync right.
Well, how are you going to get the lip sync right when it's a translation?
It's a translation. They're talking in another language.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so you're not going to get that lip sync.
Good try, my friend.
Okay, Karlos. So wait, your wife Karlos made you watch all 10 episodes, or you kind of dozed off here and there?
You better cut it out. Cut it out. Come on now. Come on. I was in and out. I can't lie. I mean, I was going to turn it on, and from the first episode, it was like, yeah, I can't. And I normally love foreign films. I love them. But this particular one, I wanted to see what the hype was all about. And I just couldn't do it. And I'm not a professional film critic or any of those great things. I know what I like. I love to watch that genre, but this was, it kind of reminded me of The Bird Box with Sandra, Jessica Bullock.
The hype around it.
Oh, Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock, yeah.
See, but that was actually decent.
That's my point. She only did one episode. It was a movie. They went way too long.
Yeah.
Even
the first episode, Squid Game, I just like, what is the point? Like, I at the end of the day, I finally understood, okay, it's people who end up in a lot of debt. And so what would they do to walk away with $40 million debt free? Would you die for it? That kind of situation.
I mean, you got to think of it. That's reality. It's really reality right now.
Okay, so maybe that's the fascination with this show. There's a lot of reality.
It's a lot of
stuff.
It's a lot of key points to where it's like people can relate to it. I mean, now since everything happened with COVID, a lot of people were getting in a better financial situation. But if you really think about before COVID, everybody was not. It was a lot of people that had a lot of things going on and they couldn't afford things. It was just like, it was almost a depression. Recession. So it's like, yeah, so people can relate to the fact that I'm in debt. I got this problem, but if I just get this one thing over this hump, I can make my life better. And they're willing to die for it. Okay, so it's more relatable.
Let me take this topic and turn it into and throw it towards you guys as far as the curriculum at DSDT. I'm just curious. If you're coming in with the idea, hey, I want to be a filmmaker and I want to make material, I want to make films, documentaries on everyday situations. What are some of the courses? What is some of the advice you would give students? I'm kind of throwing a loaded question out there on the fly. I understand that. But just curious, like if there's anything that's offered at the school where it kind of puts a person in that direction.
So I would leave that up to the instructor. What is it in your class that you believe of the curriculum actually impresses upon a student that they should move into the area of where their skill set tends to be the strongest, as opposed to simply, I want to do it because I want to get in the choir because everybody else is in the choir, but really I can't sing.
So with that being said, that's why this is what I love about DSDT. See, DSDT is a more hands-on school. So it's like from day one, when we're in person, from the first day you're in my class, we're shooting something. So I always feel like you're going to find your passion in what you can do when you physically can do it. Not just because I can say it or I can show you this on this. No, let me give you this camera. Let me see you take this shot, and you take your phone and you do the same exact thing. People grow and get a passion for those things because they start seeing themselves become creative. So a creative mind is very powerful. So once you show the person they can put that creativity on a computer screen, you can edit it, and then you can put it out there for the world to see. It's like a drug. People get addicted to it. So it's like, oh, I want more. So they come to me and say, oh, yo, Brandon, what can I do to do this and do that? And I try my best to show them the best ways. Like I have even taken students directly from my class and put them on real sets. And to this day, they still work with me. So it's like they came in here, they got hands-on, they fell in love with what they fell in love with, and we kept moving. And that's just basically how I like to do it. It's like, hands-on has always been my thing and the best way to show somebody how to do something.
So picking right up on where Brandon said that it's kind of like a drug, why don't we just get on into to our next topic? Have you guys seen Star's original BMF Black Mafia Family?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched all 5 episodes so far.
And
We
it
got
is
a resounding
darn
yes.
good.
Josh, can you explain to the viewers as to why this was something definitively that you had to watch?
Okay, BMF, Black Mafia Family. It is based on the true life story with a little fiction because you have to make it a TV show, give it that drama. But the premise of the show is based on the real life story of Demetrius and Terry Flannery, 2 brothers who grew up in Southwest Detroit, came from humble beginnings, and they created a drug empire that originated in Southwest Detroit, and it stretched from Detroit to Atlanta, LA, Miami, and I believe St. Louis. During their 20 plus year running this empire, they made in the ballpark of $270 million.
Can you say that one more time, please? Because I was having problems hearing that number. Can you say it one more time?
During the reign of their empire, they made roughly $270 million. These 2 brothers came up shortly after the time of Young Boys Incorporated, White Boy Rick, Chambers Brothers. They came up right after that era in Detroit. And so that's where this show really gets good when you're talking about the filming, capturing the era. We're all based here in Detroit. Me, Brandon, Carlos, we're all based in Detroit. DSDT is located in Southwest Detroit. And so what you can appreciate about a show like this, the creator is 50 Cent, it's really capturing Detroit during that era. When you're watching the episodes, you see MC Light, you see the show The Scene, you see young Big Meech walking down the street with a bag of Better Made hot chips. You see a Faygo can pop at the Coney Island. You see one guy walking in asking for a loose burger. I mean, it's just those authentic things where it's like, okay, the crew came into town and they really understood what Detroit is about. And you don't see that in every show, in every movie where you come in and you grab it.
Okay, so now that is Josh's take, and 100% I agree with a lot of it. Now, Brandon, the filmmaker, director, cinematographer, could you kind of educate us a little bit about this particular piece?
I mean, it's a Detroit film. I mean, it's a good show. You know, I mean, I've been watching it. I've also had one of my guys who was actually in a lot of my films actually get a role inside of BMF. He was one of Tristan Vazquez. He played one of the cops.
The brother who went to Cass Tech, I believe. He was at the.
He was just on the news yesterday.
Yeah, he was on the scene with Steve Harris.
Yes, when they found when they found the stuff in the water and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. With the bad wig. Yeah, I was talking.
With the bad wig.
BMF is actually portraying, you know, a lot of things that I know about. I don't know them. I didn't grow up with them or nothing like that. They're older than me actually, but just being from Southwest, that's all you heard about. You know, you heard about them and what they were doing and how they did it. And a lot of people didn't know that they were from Southwest Detroit, but they made all their money, a lot of their money during that time inside Ecorse, River Rouge, you know, the downriver area. They're actually portraying it pretty good, as I see so far. I mean, it's kind of slow, for my taste, for my liking. But like I said, they're getting their story across. So I don't know their whole story, so I'm actually getting educated on a lot of things too. Like I never knew how Southwest T's how it got the way how I was messed up. Never knew he got shot in his nose or in his eye. You know what I mean? So it's like it's being educational to those who follow that stuff here in Detroit. And you know, we're big on that here for some reason. I don't know why, but we gravitate to those stories.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, Big Meech was always the face of BMF. When you know, you're Fabulous, T.I., Jeezy, things like that, and you'll see Big Meech, you know, behind the scenes or like within the scene. But it was actually Southwest T who was kind of like the brains of the operation, who was deeply behind the scene. But hey, let's get to when you're teaching your students, Brandon, at DSDT, you're teaching them about filming. I mean, BMF is a good show to use as an example because it shows the importance of research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because you got to get those stories, and once you get those stories, like, and what's so important about understanding the story is when you try to portray that story, especially when like you got a guy like 50 Cent who's not from Detroit, and you go get a story about some Detroit guys, and then and then it's just the smallest things, like you said, like if you didn't put that Fago pop or that Better Made chip in that Sting, okay, why are you shooting this? Because you don't understand Detroit. This is our history. This is our brand. Like even when you hear the sign when they say "What up, though," like that's a Detroit slang. So it's like you have to have those things to give you that element of authenticity. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta have that. So back to what you said, they had to research. They had to get the stories right.
Yes, and I'm going to go back in time and use another show for an example that I thought was a good show, but it didn't really capture the culture of Detroit 187 that came out years ago. It was on ABC. It lasted for a season. Detroit wasn't quite on the map at that time.
Yeah, I remember.
In all fairness.
Yeah, I didn't like the show. Just like even the movie Detroit, I wasn't really too keen on that because it's like you guys shoot these movies and tell these stories, but they didn't even shoot it in Detroit. So how can you tell a story about something that happened, even though it was a riot? You can't. You got to have that realism. You got to have it to where, come on, you got to touch the Detroit soil if you're going to tell our stories.
And it was something as simple, Brandon, as on Detroit 187, they said soda.
Yeah, we call it pop.
We call it pop.
Yes, those are the small things that we were just saying. Like, you got to have those small things. Like, there's nobody in Detroit walking around here saying, can I have a soda? What is that? It's just like when we go to LA, I need a pop. What is that? So it's you got to understand our culture.
Hey, so back at the school, like you're teaching your students, I mean, the importance of, hey, when you're going to base reality or when you're filming, like to really, I mean, you just can't show up and just film. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
You just can't record.
No, you guys. It's called pre-production, and I definitely teach them how to set up their pre-production. Because it's like I tell them, like you either going to go in and work harder, or you're going to go in and you're going to work smart. Mm-hmm. So the smart way is to have pre-production, knowing that we first, like one of the things that we do in class is we create a storyboard and a shot list, right? So they create a storyboard. Basically, I tell them we're going to create a 30-second commercial, but you got to create this commercial on paper before we can even pull the camera out. So I need you to explain to me what the shot is, why you're shooting it, and how it goes, and they all timed. So you have to time them out, and you have to give me 30 seconds, not 31 and not 29, because if you put a commercial on TV, it's 30 seconds. So that's another, like you said, it's pre-production, it's planning. You have to be prepared.
Okay, right on.
That's what's up. Well, Brandon, we'd like to thank you for this segment. We're going to have to kind of wrap things up because it's about time for us to bring in our man of the hour.
Antonio.
Yes, we do. We have Mr. Antonio Lewis coming in. He's a student that took the program. He graduated with a diploma a while ago. And now I would love to talk to him about some of the things that he's into and kind of give some motivation to some of the students who are taking our general film production program. So you guys hold on and let us pay these bills, and we'll be right back.
Right now, there are job opportunities in the tech industry we can train you for. In our newly renovated state-of-the-art facility, classes are beginning monthly in cybersecurity, drone technology, digital marketing, computer programming, film production, and many, many others. If you live in the Metro Detroit area and you're looking to learn a skill local employers are demanding, but one that isn't that of a laborer, at DSDT, you can learn a lot in less than a year.
Hello, I'm Jason Stemmer. I served 5 years as a combat engineer in the United States Army. In the summer of 2019, I joined DSDT to learn advancing technologies in computer support, networking, cybersecurity, many valuable tools in digital media. DSDT is partnered with a lot of veteran-friendly employers, and with the help of DSDT's job placement assistance, I was able to quickly begin work in the IT field. I'm very pleased with this direction, as there is unlimited potential in the technology field, with no signs of growth or demand ever slowing. So come in for a visit, take a tour, and schedule a meeting with an advisor. DSDT really changed my life for the better, and it can change yours.
At a Detroit School for Digital Technology, we strive to provide students who are willing to learn new and exciting skill sets with a quality education in cutting-edge film technology to include recording in HD and 4K formats, drone videography, editing, and state-of-the-art color grading. Our instructors are friendly, knowledgeable industry professionals who are willing to teach. For more information, call us at 313-263-4200 or visit us on the web at dsdt.tech.
All right, welcome back to the Tech School Podcast, brought to you by DSDT. A very great conversation with Brandon on filming, do's, the don'ts, and what you can learn at DSDT. Now, Karlos, as you mentioned a moment ago, the man of the hour, Antonio Lewis, who is a student at DSDT, correct?
Correct, he is. I think we're going to love this conversation. I know that you didn't get an opportunity to meet Antonio prior to this recording, so we definitely would love to have a conversation with him and have him explain his experience with DSDT and where it has helped him to propel his transformation.
And we're doing it live.
And we're doing it live.
Live! How's it going, my good friend?
It's going well. How about yourself, Josh?
Hey, Karlos. Doing well. Nice to meet you virtually, but nevertheless, meet you officially.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Likewise, brother. Okay, so yeah, as Karlos alluded to, give us some background on your experience with DSDT.
Oh, well, I pretty much just came to DSDT. Like Brandon was saying earlier, I was coming to DSDT to pretty much kind of learn more about videography and audio post-production. And I ended up being put into something that was it fall into the audio that for movies with Brandon. You know, Brandon started taking me along on different sets and showing me different things when it comes to field audio, and I actually fell in love with field audio. You know, DSDT. If it wouldn't have been for DSDT, I wouldn't have never ever made that transition from engineering music to field audio. So, you know, I owe DSDT a lot.
Good deal. When did you begin your education with DSDT exactly?
It was back in, was it 2017, 18?
Okay.
Yeah, it was 17 or 18. I believe it was the end of 17, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. A few years ago. So tell us, what are you up to now?
Well, I'm still working in field audio. I actually been working with Brandon for quite some time now, and you know, just whatever movies we can get into, whatever we do it, we're just working.
Am I reading correctly? The Hustles Media LLC.
10 Hustles Media LLC.
Okay. All right. Tell us more about that.
10 Hustles Media is just my media company. It started off as 10 Hustles Production and Media, where I, producing and engineering beats. I actually engineered a lot of music. I started out engineering music, actually engineering my brother and whoever else would come to the studio and let me record them, So, and then it started from there, just to actually making money on it, and it just grew. As you can see, McGraw Ave, I've been on a lot of different sets, working with Brandon. I've been on a lot of different sets working with Brandon. I've met a lot of people.
So I have a question, and I'm the guy who always talks about the elephants in the room, right?
Okay.
Mr. Lewis, as you can see, Mr. Lewis is in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair, and yet it has not stopped him or limit him from aspiring to reach his dreams, his goals. can you talk to us somewhat about the challenges you may have had, as well as the successes you're having nowadays?
And as Antonio is explaining his story, Carlos, bring that image full screen if you can. Let's show a larger image of it.
Well, obstacles. Man, what obstacles haven't I had? You know, sitting down, you know, you have simple obstacles. It's just as simple as going up a step or a curb, you know. So it's just little simple things that you may have. But, you know, when you're determined and you actually want something, you don't let that little thing that you're sitting there stop you. You know, like, so when Carlos said it, I'm looking at the picture and it's just like, wow, you know, I like you said, elephant in the room. I didn't really look at the chair because I'm in it. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't pay attention to it because you're in it. But when you're actually working and you're working towards something and you're working toward a goal and you actually have your mind set on that goal and you just want to make it come true by any means, you know, legal way, of course, but by any means you want to make that happen. You do it. You just do it, you know. And once you start doing it, you never know what you can accomplish once you put your mind to it. You just stay focused on it. Stay focused on your goal ahead. So yeah.
So that's one of the greatest things that I always know about Tino, right? Tino was here with us when we actually were getting out in the field and we were going on the Detroit Princess and we were actually videoing and we were doing a lot of phenomenal things in our earlier classes. And despite whatever you may have thought was a challenge, hands down, he's going to make it happen. Right. Mm-hmm. I remember one time because for a while we had a podcast studio in the basement here at the school and there's no elevator. Right. And Tino was like, man, look, I'll get down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? I'll get down the stairs. Don't worry about it, you know, because that just shows the determination that he had in order to get over, regardless of what the obstacle was or is, you know. So I was looking the other day because he's a friend of mine on Facebook. Right. And as I'm looking at some of the remarkable things that he's doing, I thought, wow. You know, I'm so thankful, grateful to have been part of his process, his success. You know, we're talking at least 3 years ago. And look at him now. And it takes Brandon to actually tell you about Tino. One of the things I love to hear is that he is perhaps the most sought after sound guy in the city of Detroit. Say what?
Yeah,
so when I hear that, you know what I automatically think, Tino?
What's that?
You can.
Carlos, call me off guard, but you can do it.
Nobody has a reason to say that they can't. You're only limited if you choose yourself to be. You know, it doesn't matter what your friends are telling you. You know, we've had time and time again people. I remember one student that we had who came to the film production program, graduated with a degree in engineering from Howard, but he wanted to get into photography. I'm sorry, videography. And he came to DSDT because he was here in the city and he wanted to be a part of our program. Wow. And that's what we're doing here. The main reason, Josh, I brought Tino and Brandon on today is because I wanted our students, those who are considering the film production program, I wanted them to actually hear it from the instructor as well as the student who's taken this program before. I can't explain it the way that Brandon, who's teaching you, is going to explain it. I don't have 25 credits to my name on IMDb. As a matter of fact, I don't have none. You know, I don't have any, but I have an instructor who, to his credits, I think he has 17 movies.
Wow.
Hold on. I think that deserves another. You can. I'm just going to leave it right there.
Leave it right there.
Mic drop. Yeah, it's
Hey,
really been a pleasure, man. Like I'm glad, you know, before I actually started, DSDT, I was working at Quicken Loans. And I was laid off from Quicken Loans, and there was a young lady by the name of Angie that worked at Quicken Loans with me. She told me about the program, and she already knew that I was taking pictures or whatnot. She said, you know what, this program would be good for you. You should try it. And I kind of waved her off at first, but then when I made the appointment and came in to see about the program, I met with Karlos, and that was it. Karlos, he talked to me about the program. He walked me around through the school, let me see hands-on. He let me come into the school even before I even enrolled, just to come in and check the program out, sit in the classroom, and I was sold. And once I got here, and he got to telling me where, I got telling me what we were going to be, what the curriculum was going to be, and what we were going to be doing. And like Brandon said, everything was hands-on. When we first came in, we were actually doing something with the camera. The first day. So, this is a really good school. It's really hands-on, and it's something that it's something that's in the city that can help take you to the next level in engineering, drone technology, IT, whatever it is that you're looking to do that you're interested in. I guarantee you, if you come here and it's one of the programs, you're gonna love it.
Wow. Well, Karlos, I don't know about you. I say we leave it right there.
Listen. Boy, I mean, come on now. I feel, and I'm gonna say this, we probably should change our motto now. It was a time when we were attempting to build a school, and the one thing that I've recognized over the years is that we're building people. We are truly building people. And I'm so grateful and thankful to be a part of so many journeys. And now I have my good friend Josh that's along for the ride with me.
Happy to join.
Listen, thank you, Tino, the sound guy. We appreciate you coming through the day to bless us. If there was one thing before we let you go that you could tell someone who was considering the DSDT film production program, and might I add, it has significantly changed since you were here, but all the same, what would you say to that person?
Do not hesitate. If it's your dream and it's something that you want to go for it, give it 100% and go for it. No. I take that back. Give it a 200% and go for it. And I do want to add one other thing too. They always say you want to give roses to the people out of here. I want to give roses to my good friend Brandon. He took me along and opened up some doors for me, man, that wasn't open beforehand. So, I do appreciate him for taking me along on his sets and believing in me for all the times that he did. And I'm still working with him to this day, so it hasn't changed, and he still believes in me. He still trusts in my skill set, and that's an honor. You know what I mean? So thank you, Karlos. Thanks, Brandon. Thank you, Josh. I do appreciate this opportunity to be able to express this and give them roses right now while they're here, because he do deserve them. He got a lot of work coming out. He got a lot of stuff in the works that I'm sure he's not even speaking about. I don't even know about yet. So, but I'm sure some things going on. But yeah, just DSDT, Digital School for Digital Technology. Get with it or get lost.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Wow, Karlos, good stuff from start to finish.
Great stuff today, Josh. Great stuff. I mean, and here's the thing. We're coming back every week at 3:00 to do the same thing over and over and over again. We want to highlight not only the talent that we have as far as instructors, but it's also the stories from the individuals that have been impacted from the trainings that we have, and where are they now, right? I mean, in all actuality, I would even love to talk to individuals that are considering the school, having some, candid conversations with them about why DSDT. So I will just tell you guys, this is kind of where Karlos thinks all the time. I always ask myself, why DSDT? Why DSDT? Do you understand how many other programs there are in the entire world? I know, because I'm always looking at the competitors. And at the end of the day, I feel that the strength of our community that we build, I feel as though the curriculum that we have, see, what we're doing right now, this is hands-on training. When you come to DSDT, you're not going to be just sitting and saying, okay, I'm getting a bachelor's degree and it's going to have all these big words in it. And not one day am I going to touch the devices in order to do a broadcast like this. Not one day am I not going to be able to use Adobe, whatever the case may be in the grand scheme. You're going to be able to touch all of it. So that's what makes our curriculum different than a lot of the hypothesis that you're going to get if you go to other programs. And again, the expertise of the instructors that we have here, I'll keep lining them up. I literally am going to keep lining them up, regardless of the news that's going on right now, the current news, regardless of what's going on in their industries, they are still working today. They're not just sitting down on the job and collecting a paycheck at DSDT because they want to teach. No, we still have real connection to the industries that we are related to. So I just want you guys to really understand that. And Josh, my good friend, I appreciate you again today. It's been phenomenal.
Say that again.
Phenomenal. You're trying to get
phenomenal.
No, we got enough. We got it in today, my friend. We
did, brother.
Good stuff.
And more to come. All right, that will do it for Antonio, Brandon, Karlos. I'm Josh, the Tech School Podcast brought to you by DSDT. See ya.